Alright, so a quick look at this keyboard and mouse combo. So this is from ProtoArc. The model is EKM01, so probably Ergonomic keyboard and mouse 01. Very easy to remember. Anyway, the typing feel of this keyboard is pretty amazing. It's almost as good as my Cherry KWX ULP, which is a mechanical low profile keyboard. So all the keys here are well stabilized, they're crisp, they have a good action. Whenever you type, the keys bounce back right away. This is a membrane keyboard, so the actuation distance is pretty high. Basically, I have to bottom out every keys in order for them to register. It takes a while to get used to it, but once you do, it's pretty good. This is what they sound like. So yeah, super quiet. Here we have our media control, so play pause in the middle, previous track, next track, volume up and volume down. At the bottom we have our palm rest, so this is covered with PU leather and a thin layer of padding. The palm rest is not detachable. If you look at the back, it's just one piece. There's these two legs, so if you want to lift the front of your keyboard, and because of that you cannot have a detachable design. At the top we have two more legs to lift the back of the keyboard if you like that kind of thing. So a lot of ergonomic adjustment in this, and because this is just a big one piece, it's also very stable. Here we have a small area to store our USB receiver, and just above is our switch to turn the keyboard on and off. Over here we have the USB port to charge the keyboard. On the right side we have our connection selectors, so one for the USB receiver and two for Bluetooth, and the last button at the very end is to lock screen. Next we have the mouse. So this mouse is on the larger side, is slightly lighter than the Logitech MX Master 2S, but the 2S has a lot more buttons. This mouse is made to be palm grip, but that's not what I use. I normally use a claw grip, and for that this mouse is not very well suited. The center of gravity is a bit off. It's a bit heavier towards the base of my palm, so whenever I lift the mouse, the back kind of want to slide down, so it's never very comfortable handling this mouse with a claw grip. Button wise, this mouse has 9 of them. So on the thumb side we have our page back and page forward. Over here is our connection selector, so this mouse can also support 3 devices. Over here we have our DPI switch below the scroll wheel, and here we have the main click, so just have a listen to this. It's very quiet. Same thing with the right click and the scroll wheel as well. Super quiet, but it totally lacks tactility. So not a super great mouse for gaming. Because of that, I think the scroll wheel need a lot more certainty. At the bottom of the mouse we can find the switch to turn the mouse on and off right here at the top. And at the bottom we have a small cover, so this is to store the USB receiver. The cover is held with magnets, so there's no rattling when you use this mouse. And lastly, the USB port to charge the mouse is in front. So overall, a pretty okay mouse. Not the best, there are better ones, but you will have to pay for it. The keyboard on the other hand is pretty good. Hopefully this is helping you out. Thank you very much for watching.
So I bought this keyboard after my Windows. I had a Windows Ergonomic one, Microsoft one, and everything was good with that until this little guy. I always leave it here when I travel, and this broke, so everything else was useless because this little thing controls everything else for the other one. So I bought this one. I've had it for 2 months. This material is like kind of like a leathery, so it has a good cushion. The keyboards are pretty much silent, okay, unless well this one, the space one, is a bit more loud, but all the others are pretty much silent. This is your mouse, okay, they're all rechargeable and they have an on and off switch, okay, they don't operate on batteries. You just turn it on and off, and it brings its own charging cables. Same for the keyboard. You can plug it on. It has its connector right here. Okay, and you just turn it off. So it doesn't, I've charged it once and it didn't die. I just charged it because I was like, well, maybe it's time to charge it. But haven't died, and I usually forget to turn it off. Like right now, I forgot to turn it off. But I mean, and this mouse is phenomenal. It's super smooth. It's super silent. Listen, nothing, right? You have these buttons here, which you can actually control this. You can set it up to 3 devices. I only have it in mine, one here, which is, I have the monitor down here, but I only have it like in my laptop. But you can actually set it up for 3 devices, and here I would assume you'd switch to which device. These 2 buttons, I have no idea what it does, and this is like for the menu, like Windows, whatever menu is, right? So far, amazing. Way cheaper than the one I had before, and so far it's been great.
Hi everyone, just wanted to do a quick review on this ergonomic wireless keyboard and mouse made by ProtoArc, model number EKM01 Plus. So it comes with the mouse and the keyboard. It can be connected with 3 devices at the same time. Why do I say that? So you got your USB, and all you got to do is basically press it. And, sorry, there you go. It selected the USB. You want to select Bluetooth 1, Bluetooth 2, okay? So I'm using Bluetooth right now on my computer, and that's how it works. It has the Windows and the Apple option, which I really need because my wife is an Apple user, I'm a Windows user, so it helps out in both ways. It has this multifunction. It is very ergonomic and user-friendly. Let's look at the bottom of it. So what do we have here is on-off button. You can set your height. Okay, so you have 2 options. So you can either make it level or one way, and so on. Battery life, I have already charged it once and I've been using it for almost 3 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, and I'm using it on a continuous basis, and I don't ever turn it off because it is auto shut off. When you're not using it, it will shut off on its own. You touch it, press it, it will come back on. Let's go with the mouse. Similar story. Your selection is right here, so you turn it on, right, and then over here you got the blue light on. You want to change the modes. So your first one is USB, second one is Bluetooth, third one is Bluetooth. Okay, it is nice to use. It has this ergonomic design, and you got your quick buttons as well, along with your scroll. It is a nice feel to it, to be honest, and I like it. This keyboard has been very, it's a nice upgrade for what I used to use before, and it feels good. The PU kind of feel or material over here, it gives you a nice feel. thanks for watching. Hopefully I covered most of the stuff. But yeah, if you have any questions, give me a shout. Cheers.
This ProtoArc keyboard and mouse set has everything that I'm looking for to make my workflow even better. I love the fact that it is a full-size keyboard, so that the number pad is exactly where I need it to be, as well as the navigation keys. I also love the curvature of the keyboard itself, so that while my fingers are positioned, my wrist is hitting at an appropriate spot that allows for good wrist support, and my hands don't get as fatigued as I'm working throughout my day. I love the fact that both the keyboard and mouse are multi-device items, so that I can pair it through the dongle to my work laptop, which I've done, and then the second one is for my personal laptop, and the third one is for my cell phone. So it's a really good workflow for me, and it's the same for the mouse as well, which is really useful. I love the fact that they're USB-C charging, and so far the battery life has not disappointed. One thing that I didn't like at first was the fact that although there is a dedicated mute button along the F keys, there was no increase or decrease volume buttons, which I'm used to seeing in the F key panel. However, this right here allows me to increase the volume, decrease the volume, and pause audio or video seamlessly. So it's been a 10 out of 10 for me ever since making that discovery. Granted, I could have made that discovery if I actually read the manual, but here we are. Anyway, I really love this set, and even though it is a bit on the pricier side, it's literally the only keyboard you will need, so I would definitely recommend it. It has changed my workflow tremendously.
This keyboard's nicer than expected. Looks at how quiet it is. Nobody will hear that on a conference call. And you can charge it, and you don't even have to use the little dongle thing. You can use Bluetooth, so you can save your USB port. Better than expected. Very nice.